Buying a cruiser should mean years of effortless riding, not surprise repair bills sitting in your garage. Yet a lot of bikes that look incredible on the showroom floor start showing their weaknesses long before the odometer hits serious mileage. In this video, we are counting down 15 cruisers in 2026 that riders trust to run for decades. Machines known for engines that keep going long after others give up. Because when reliability is the priority, choosing the wrong cruiser is not just disappointing, it can become one of the most expensive mistakes a rider makes. Number 15, Yamaha V Star 250. When most riders picture a dependable cruiser, they usually imagine a big, rumbling V-twin built for long highway miles. Heavy frames, large engines, and touring comfort often dominate that conversation. But sometimes true durability comes from the opposite approach: simple engineering, lightweight, and a motor that is never pushed too hard. That philosophy is exactly why the Yamaha V Star 250 earns the number 15 spot on this list. At its core is a 249 cubic centimeter air-cooled 60-degree V-twin paired with a 5-speed transmission. The design is intentionally uncomplicated. A single carburetor handles fueling, and the engine focuses on smooth, predictable power instead of aggressive performance numbers. With about 21 horsepower on tap, the motor works well within its limits. Less stress means less wear over time, and that is one reason these bikes develop such long lifespans. Add a lightweight chassis of roughly 324 pounds and a very low seat height, and the V-Star becomes easy on both the rider and its own mechanical parts. Owners often report years of dependable commuting with little more than routine maintenance. Fuel economy hovering around 78 miles per gallon only adds to its everyday practicality. New models in 2026 sell for just under $5,000 in the United States, while used examples typically fall between about $2,000 and the mid-$3,000 range. If this is exactly the kind of motorcycle content you come to YouTube for, real machines that actually last, hit that like button, drop a hype in the comments, and subscribe. That simple action tells us you want more deep dive reliability lists like this, and it is what allows this channel to keep bringing riders the bikes that are truly worth owning. And the next motorcycle on this list moves into a completely different class of performance, and its reputation for durability might surprise you. Number 14, the Kawasaki Vulcan S. Not every reliable cruiser comes from old-fashioned engineering. Sometimes the secret is using an engine that has already proven itself for years in other motorcycles. That idea is exactly what makes the Kawasaki Vulcan S such a dependable choice for riders heading into 2026. At the heart of the bike sits a 649 cubic centimeter liquid, cooled parallel twin shared with the Kawasaki Ninja 650 and the Kawasaki Z 650. After more than a decade on the road, this engine family has earned a reputation for durability across a massive global rider base. In the Vulcan S, it produces about 61 horsepower and roughly 46 pound-feet of torque, tuned for smooth mid-range pull rather than aggressive high revs. That relaxed setup is a big reason the bike ages so well. The engine spends most of its life operating comfortably within its limits, which helps reduce wear over time. Liquid cooling, fuel injection, and modern electronics also help the machine stay consistent in traffic, hot weather, or long highway rides. New models in the United States generally start around $7,500, while used examples often range from about $4,500 to $6,500, depending on condition. But not every cruiser rider wants a sporty heartbeat under the tank. Many traditionalists prefer a slower, deeper, more classic feel. And that shift leads us to the next machine, a V-twin cruiser from another Japanese manufacturer known for smooth torque and long-term durability. Number 13, Suzuki Boulevard C50. Some cruisers earn loyalty the simple way: they just keep running. The Suzuki Boulevard C50 built its reputation by doing exactly that, year after year, mile after mile, without asking for much in return. Its foundation goes back to the early 2000s Suzuki VL 800 Volusia, and instead of constantly redesigning the machine, Suzuki refined what already worked. That steady development helped turn the platform into one of the most trusted midsize cruisers on American roads. The bike runs an 805 cubic centimeter liquid, cooled 45-degree V-twin, producing about 53 horsepower and roughly 52 pound-feet of torque. It is tuned for relaxed, low RPM pulling power rather than high rev performance, which naturally reduces long-term engine stress. Fuel injection keeps the motor running smoothly, and the shaft final drive removes chain maintenance entirely. We just talked about a cruiser that has built its reputation by surviving years of real road miles. Now we are curious, have you ever owned a cruiser that refused to die no matter how much you rode it? Tell us the model and how many miles you put on it down in the comments, because riders looking for their next dependable bike learn a lot from real ownership stories. In 2026, a new C50 typically sits around $9,000, while used examples often range between $3,500 and $6,500 depending on condition. But that traditional cruiser size and weight can feel intimidating for newer riders. That challenge pushed manufacturers to rethink the formula. And that leads directly to the next machine, a lighter modern cruiser from Honda that proves reliability can also mean accessibility. Number 12, the Honda Rebel 500. Some motorcycles build their reliability through decades of production. Others inherit it from an engine platform that has already proven itself across multiple machines. That is exactly the story behind the Honda Rebel 500. At its core sits a 471 cubic centimeter liquid, cooled parallel twin that produces about 47 horsepower and roughly 32 pound-feet of torque. More importantly, this engine belongs to the same dependable family used in the Honda CB500F, Honda CBR 500R, and Honda CB 500X. Over years of global riding, that platform has built a reputation for durability and minimal maintenance. Honda tuned the Rebel for calm, predictable performance rather than aggressive output. Because the engine rarely operates under heavy stress, many owners accumulate massive mileage with little more than routine servicing. Comfort also helps explain its long ownership life. A very low seat height, lightweight, and relaxed cruiser ergonomics make the Rebel easy to ride day after day. New models in the United States usually start around $6,500, while used examples often fall between roughly $4,500 and $6,000. But for riders who grew up dreaming about cruisers, something still feels missing. In the cruiser world, bigger displacement and deeper torque still carry a special appeal. And that craving leads us to the next machine, a cruiser built with classic V-twin proportions and a reputation for long-distance reliability. Number 11, Kawasaki Vulcan 900. The Kawasaki Vulcan 900 has quietly become one of the most dependable midsize cruisers on the road. That steady reputation is exactly why it holds the number 11 position on this list. At its heart sits a 903 cubic centimeter liquid-cooled V-twin, producing about 50 horsepower and roughly 58 pound-feet of torque. Kawasaki tuned this engine for smooth, low RPM cruising rather than aggressive performance, which keeps internal components working well within their limits. Fuel injection helps the engine run consistently in different weather, while a 5-speed transmission and durable belt final drive reduce day-to-day maintenance compared with traditional chain setups. Together, those choices make the Vulcan an easy motorcycle to live with for years. In 2026, new Vulcan 900 models in the United States generally start around $9,000, while used examples often sell between roughly $3,500 and $7,000 depending on condition. But in the world of long-lasting motorcycles, reputation matters just as much as engineering. And when riders talk about cruisers that simply refuse to die, one name keeps coming up. That reputation brings us to the next chapter, a Honda cruiser with one of the strongest reliability records in the category. Number 10, Honda Shadow Phantom. Breaking into the top 10 means stepping into motorcycles with long, proven track records. Few cruisers represent that reputation better than the Honda Shadow Phantom. The Phantom carries forward Honda's decades-long Shadow lineage, a platform refined slowly over time rather than constantly reinvented. Power comes from a 745 cubic centimeter liquid, cooled V-twin, producing about 44 horsepower and roughly 47 pound-feet of torque. Instead of chasing big numbers, Honda tuned the engine for calm, low-rev cruising. One reason these bikes often run for enormous mileage. A 5-speed gearbox pairs with a durable shaft drive, a setup known for reducing long-term maintenance compared with chain systems. Fuel injection also improves everyday starting and smooth operation. In 2026, a new Shadow Phantom in the United States sells for around $8,700, while used examples usually range between roughly $3,500 and $6,500. But some riders want their cruiser to feel a little more modern and stripped down. That demand for a cleaner, minimalist design pushed manufacturers in a new direction. And that shift leads us to the next machine, a Yamaha cruiser that blends simplicity, torque, and raw mechanical character. Number 9, the Yamaha Bolt R-Spec. Let's meet a cruiser that mixes stripped-down styling with impressive mechanical durability. The Yamaha Bolt R-Spec may look minimal and modern, but underneath the bobber-inspired design sits an engine built to last for years. Power comes from a 942 cubic centimeter air-cooled V-twin that produces about 65 horsepower and roughly 59 pound-feet of torque. This motor shares its roots with the long-proven platform used in the Yamaha V Star 950, an engine family known for dependable high-mileage performance. Yamaha tuned the Bolt for strong low and mid-range torque, which means riders rarely need to push the engine hard. A belt final drive and fuel injection also keep ownership simple and low maintenance. All right, quick check-in. So far, we have looked at beginner-friendly cruisers, classic Japanese V-twins, and a few machines with surprisingly strong reliability records. Now tell us in the comments, which cruiser from the list so far would you actually trust for a 50,000-mile road trip? And while you are there, like the video and subscribe. It helps more riders discover bikes that truly last. And the cruiser coming next takes durability even further, using a platform many riders consider nearly indestructible. Number 8, Suzuki Boulevard M50. The Suzuki Boulevard M50 grew out of the earlier Suzuki Marauder 800 platforms, and Suzuki spent years refining the formula rather than constantly reinventing it. That steady evolution helped build a reputation riders respect. Power comes from an 805 cubic centimeter liquid, cooled 45-degree V-twin, delivering about 52 horsepower and roughly 52 pound-feet of torque. Instead of chasing high-rev performance, the engine focuses on strong low and mid-range pull, allowing it to cruise comfortably without placing heavy strain on internal parts. Fuel injection keeps the motor running smoothly in all conditions, while the shaft drive removes chain adjustments and keeps long-term maintenance simple. In 2026, a new M50 typically lands around $9,300, while used examples usually fall between $3,800 and $6,800. The Boulevard M50 shows how reliable Japanese engineering can be when paired with a comfortable cruiser layout. But when conversations about cruiser heritage begin, another brand inevitably enters the picture. And that reputation points to the next machine, an American icon that has spent decades proving its durability on roads around the world. Number 7, the Harley-Davidson Sportster 883. When riders talk about cruisers that seem almost impossible to wear out, the Harley-Davidson Sportster 883 is always part of the conversation. For decades, this motorcycle has earned its reputation the honest way, through real miles on real roads. Power comes from the well-known Evolution air-cooled V-twin engine, a design praised for mechanical simplicity and long-term durability. In its classic form, the engine delivers about 50 horsepower and roughly 54 pound-feet of torque. The performance is calm and predictable, which actually helps the internal components last far longer than heavily stressed engines. Another reason these bikes survive for so many years is parts availability. Because so many were produced, keeping one running is usually straightforward. Used models in the United States often range between about $3,500 and $7,500. But while the Sportster is iconic, some riders eventually want something bigger. That desire for more displacement pushes the countdown to the next machine, a heavyweight Japanese cruiser with a massive V-twin and a reputation for bulletproof reliability. Number 6. The Honda VTX 1300. Some cruisers quietly earn legendary status by lasting far longer than anyone expects. The Honda VTX 1300 is one of those machines. Among experienced riders, it is widely known as a cruiser that can accumulate enormous mileage without losing its strength. At the center of the motorcycle sits a 1,312 cubic centimeter liquid-cooled V-twin engine that produces about 74 horsepower and roughly 81 pound-feet of torque. The power delivery is relaxed and strong at low speeds, perfect for steady highway cruising. A major reason for its durability is the shaft drive system, which removes the constant maintenance required by chain-driven motorcycles. With fewer moving parts exposed to wear, long-term ownership becomes much simpler. Even today, well-kept used models in the United States often sell between about $3,500 and $6,500. But riders who want serious built-in touring capability may still want more. That is where the countdown moves next, to a cruiser designed not just for reliability, but for carrying riders across entire states without breaking a sweat. Number 5. The Kawasaki Vulcan 1700. When long-distance touring meets serious mechanical toughness, the Kawasaki Vulcan 1700 quickly earns its place in the conversation. This heavyweight cruiser was designed to challenge the biggest American touring machines while delivering the precision engineering Kawasaki is known for. Power comes from a 1,700 cubic centimeter liquid cooled V-twin producing about 82 horsepower and roughly 107 pound-feet of torque. The engine is tuned for relaxed highway cruising rather than aggressive performance, allowing it to run comfortably for thousands of miles with minimal strain. A major durability advantage is the shaft drive system, which requires far less upkeep than chains or belts and is built for extreme mileage. Liquid cooling and electronic fuel injection also help the engine stay consistent during long highway journeys. In the United States, new models like the Vaquero typically start around $19,999, while clean used examples usually range from about $7,000 to $14,000, depending on year and mileage. But some riders want a little more refinement without losing that durability, which brings us to the next machine, a cruiser that keeps the dependable V-twin formula while adding modern engineering and stronger highway performance. Number 4. The Indian Scout. Few modern cruisers balance performance and durability as well as the Indian Scout. Since its modern return in 2015, this motorcycle has earned strong respect among riders who want classic American styling backed by modern engineering. Power comes from a 1,133 cubic centimeter liquid cooled V-twin producing about 100 horsepower and roughly 72 pound-feet of torque. Unlike traditional air-cooled cruisers, the Scout's liquid cooling and fuel injection help maintain stable temperatures, reducing long-term engine wear while delivering smooth, predictable power. A belt final drive keeps maintenance simple, and the solid chassis handles daily riding or highway travel without complaint. In the United States, new Scout models typically start around $13,500, while used examples usually range between $8,000 and $11,500. But for many riders, reliability means something deeper than modern design. It means decades of heritage, a platform that has already proven itself across generations. The next bike is not just reliable on paper, its reputation was built over decades on the road. Number 3. The Honda Rebel 1100. Modern cruisers rarely earn a strong reliability reputation so quickly, but the Honda Rebel 1100 has done exactly that. Even though it is a newer model, its durability comes from an engine platform already proven on demanding long-distance machines. The power plant is derived from the respected engine used in the Honda Africa Twin. In the Rebel, that architecture becomes a 1,084 cubic centimeter liquid-cooled parallel twin, producing about 87 horsepower and roughly 72 pound-feet of torque. The tuning focuses on smooth, usable power rather than extreme output, which helps reduce internal stress and extend engine life. Riders can choose a traditional 6-speed manual transmission or Honda's dual-clutch transmission, a system known for consistent and reliable shifting. In the United States, new models typically start around $9,700, while used examples commonly range between about $7,000 and $10,000, depending on mileage and condition. But heritage alone is not always enough for riders who want maximum long-distance comfort and effortless highway cruising. That is why the spotlight now shifts to the next answer in our lineup. A cruiser engineered for touring-level durability, massive comfort, and an engine built to run for hundreds of thousands of miles. Number 2, the Harley-Davidson Softail Standard. Few motorcycles represent classic American cruising quite like the Harley-Davidson Softail Standard. Known for its straightforward design and strong mechanical character, this bike has become a trusted choice for riders who want long-term durability without unnecessary complexity. Power comes from the Milwaukee 8107 V-twin engine, a 1,746 cubic centimeter air and oil-cooled power plant delivering about 86 horsepower and roughly 110 pound-feet of torque. The engine uses improved cooling, 4 valves per cylinder, and refined lubrication to handle long highway miles with less internal stress. Another advantage is its simplicity. Compared with heavily equipped touring motorcycles, the Softail Standard keeps electronics and extra components to a minimum. In the United States, new models usually start around $14,500, while used examples often range between about $10,000 and $13,500. Are you enjoying this countdown so far? If you are, tap the like button. It really helps this video reach more riders. And if you want to support the channel even more, become a member to get early access to upcoming motorcycle videos before everyone else sees them. And when riders talk about the true peak of cruiser reliability, one machine keeps coming up. That is why the spotlight now shifts to the final bike in our countdown, a cruiser known for legendary dependability and remarkably low maintenance. Number 1, Honda Shadow 750. Taking the top position is a cruiser that has quietly earned one of the strongest durability reputations in motorcycling, the Honda Shadow 750. For decades, this Honda has proven that true reliability comes from careful engineering rather than flashy technology. The bike uses a 745 cubic centimeter liquid-cooled V-twin, producing about 44 horsepower and roughly 47 pound-feet of torque. Those modest numbers are actually the secret to its longevity. Because the engine is tuned conservatively, internal components experience far less stress over time. A low-maintenance shaft drive further simplifies ownership, making the motorcycle easy to live with for years. In the United States, new versions such as the Shadow Phantom usually start around $8,000, while used models commonly range between about $2,500 and $5,500. The Honda Shadow 750 proves that true cruiser reliability comes from smart engineering and conservative tuning. Every bike on this list shares that same philosophy. Built to last, they simply refuse to quit. If this video helped you discover which cruisers truly stand the test of time, the ride does not stop here. Click the next video on your screen and keep the journey going. Join our community of riders by subscribing, and if you want to support the channel and get early access to new videos, consider becoming a member.